Hello everyone, today we will be installing PHPbb via our Softaculous script installer, which is part of cpanel. Now if your hosting provider offers cpanel with Softaculous, you should be able to find that once you've logged in. In most cases, the theme might be a little different, but in most cases it's under the software/services section. You should see an icon that looks much like this one here, and it will say Softaculous right under the icon. So once you've found that, go ahead and click on that, and that's going to bring up the Softaculous page, much like this. Sometimes the layout is slightly different depending on which version of Softaculous it's using, but in most cases you'll see it will have top scripts, and you should see PHPbb there, which you can click on install. If it doesn't show PHPbb under that, then what you'll want to do is come over here and find forums, and you can click the little arrow down there and you'll see it under that. So right there it is, and just go ahead and click on that. So here we have the PHPbb forum page, and you'll see it'll give you some information about it. We'll assume you already know about it since you're looking at how to install it, so we'll skip over that, and you'll see an install button here at the top, and you want to go ahead and click that. And that is going to bring up the software setup page. And this one can look a little daunting, but don't worry, it's not that difficult. So on the software setup, the very first option you'll see is choose protocol, and in most cases you'll leave that as HTTP. If you do have an SSL from your hosting provider, you may choose to click the drop down there and select HTTPS if you're using a secure certificate. Otherwise, just HTTP, the default, is fine. Next, you'll see choose domain. What that is for is if your hosting provider offers you the ability to host multiple domains, so you can have add-on domains, then you'll have in the drop-down there an option to choose the different domains. So you can also see that if you, say, try to install into a subdomain, so you want like forum.domain.com, then you would select your forum.domain.com subdomain from that drop-down. In our case, we've just got the one domain, so we'll leave that as is. Next, you'll see indirectory. And this can usually be the most confusing part for most people. What it's actually asking for is a folder name here. So for example, if you're installing at domain.com, then it's going to install to domain.com PHPbb because of what it's got right here. So if you want it to just be domain.com, or for example if you selected forum.domain.com as your domain, then you would want to delete what's in there. The other option would be you could do something like, say, domain.com/forum. So in that case you would type in forum there and it would install it to that folder. So that's what we will do. Next, you'll see database name. This you can leave it as the default. Now if you do have multiple domains up here, you may want to change this to sort of match your domain, so that if you ever have to go back and do backups, do restores, anything like that with your forum, then you'll know which database goes to that domain, for example. In our case, we've just got the one domain, so we'll leave that as the default. And then moving on down with the settings, below that you'll see board settings. And this is essentially whatever you'd like it to be. So the name of your forum, a description for your forum, and then your email address that you want to put in there. And that's basically the forum's email address, so that when new members sign up, they'll get an email address, or an email confirming membership from this address. So test.com as an example is what we'll type in there. The table prefix you can leave as default. If you're familiar with that, you could change it if you wanted to, but really it's more of just personal preference again. So we'll leave it as the default on that. Below that you will see admin account, and this is going to be your account to log in, set up the forum, make different subcategories, ban users, anything like that is what this account is for. So you would want to make an admin username. You can use admin if you'd like. Generally, I'd recommend changing it just to be a little more secure, as obviously the sign-in name of admin is pretty easy to guess. And then password, you'll see it has pass in there. You definitely want to change that. Pass is just too easy to guess. So you can type something in and just make sure it's something you can remember but is still secure. Another option is to click this little key icon and it will randomly generate a password for you, as you see there. And then you'll just want to make sure to write down that password. It's randomly generated for you. Below that you will see admin email account, and so you want to set that to your email address. Essentially, if you forget your password, it's going to send that to you. If there's notifications like new members that need to be verified or that sort of thing, it's going to send that to the admin email account that you put there. Below that you will have the option to choose the language. PHPbb itself comes in quite a few languages, as you can see here, so you can choose which one it installs using. So you can actually display in whichever language you want. In my case it's English, so I'll leave it there. Below that you'll see an advanced option. This is if you don't want it to send you notifications that there's an update available. In almost all cases you want to know there's an update. If there's an update, it means that there's probably a security hole or something like that that's been patched, and so you definitely want to come back here to Softaculous and tell it to update. So checking that will tell it to not notify you of that, which you don't generally want. So we'll leave that unchecked. Then you'll see the install button, but we'll skip over that real quick. This right here you'll see email installation details too, and you can put in your email address here, and essentially it's going to send you a lot of this information that you filled in above. That way you have a record, which sometimes can be good. If you have a habit of forgetting things, then it's always good to have an email you can go back to and check. So if you want that, just fill in your email address there, and then once you've got that, you can go ahead and click the install button. You'll then see it will start the installation process, and it will give you a percentage as far as how far along it is. And it usually doesn't take it too long to install, maybe a few minutes at the most. And as you can see, it's skipping ahead pretty quickly there, so it's already jumped all the way into the 90%. And should be completed here any moment. And as you can see, it's now completed. It's given you the congratulations, the software has been installed successfully. And you'll have a link to where it installed, as well as a link to the admin URL. So you want to make note of those. Now with PHPbb, it does give you some additional things to follow here. So you'll see that once you've installed everything, you do have to log in. You want to log into the forum, go into the admin control panel. There's going to be a link at the bottom of the page, and then it's got to re-authenticate and proceed to the admin control panel. So once you've done that, then you're actually logged in and it's all set up at that point. And so then you're ready to just go ahead and create your different subcategories, and you're all ready to go with your new forum.